Good afternoon and welcome to ICU TV Lunchtime News. We look at the top stories making the headlines. President Hichilema declares official funeral and national mourning for the late UNIP Cabinet Minister Rodger Sakuhuka. President Hichilema congratulates Army Commander Zyeele on U.S. Wall of Fame induction. South Africa group alleges former Zambian President Lungu was murdered. In international news, Zelensky to make case of measles with at White House after Trump and Putin agree meeting. In sports news, FAS launches second bunch of referees assessors to strengthening official standards. With the news in details, my name is Thelma Kabwe. Mr. Sakuhuka, aged 89, died on Monday, 13th of October 2025 at Chitoloki Mission Hospital in Zambezi District, Northwestern Province, following an illness. President Hichilema acknowledged his significant contribution to public service during his tenure as a cabinet minister from 1977 to 1988. The late Honorable Sakuhuka will be laid to rest on Friday, 17th October 2025 at Chizunda village in Chief Ndungu's chiefdom, with a church service at Pentecostal Holiness Church at 10 hours preceding the burial. The president has declared the day declared the same day of national mourning, during which flags will be at half-mast and entertainment activities on radio and television will be suspended. President Hakainde Hichilema has congratulated Army Commander Lieutenant General Geoffrey Zyeele on his induction into U.S. Army War College International Fellows Wall of Fame. The president described the recognition as a testament of General Zyeele's leadership and strong partnership between the Zambian and U.S. forces, the Zambian and the U.S. armed forces in permitting global peace and security. He also paid tribute to the late Army Commander General Isaac Chizusi, who was posthumously inducted at the same ceremony. President Hichilema says General Chizusi's legacy of service continues to inspire the nation's defense forces. He further notices that the due to recognition underscores Zambia's commitment of excellency and cooperation in international military relations. The president included by refining his government's support for initiatives that strengthens global peace and security. Former President Edgar Lungu's family has revealed that a South African organization known as the Progressive Forces of South Africa has reportedly lodged a formal complaint with South African Police Service alleging that Mr. Lungu's death was a result of foul play and calling for an investigation. More reports in Mapalo Kasama.
A developing controversy is unfolding across southern Africa, one that's raising serious questions, heightening political tensions, and now sparking allegations of murder. The family of Zambia's late former president Edgar Lungu claims that a South African group calling itself the Progressive Forces of South Africa has officially filed a report with police in that country claiming that Mr. Lungu was murdered. The former president died on 5th June 2025, but since his passing, confusion, frustration, and deep concern have surrounded the circumstances of his death. According to family spokesperson Makebi Zulu, the Zambian government has allegedly engaged in clandestine activities, including the interference in burial arrangements. Among the claims, hiring a private investigator without the family's consent, who reportedly tried to locate Mr. Lungu's body following unconfirmed allegations of poisoning. However, government officials, including Secretary to the Cabinet Patrick Kangwa, have denied any involvement. Then on September 29th, a new twist emerged. The Progressive Forces of South Africa announced that they had formally reported the matter to the South African Police Service, alleging a murder. These unfolding events, coupled with the government's alleged secrecy, have deepened the standoff between the Lungu family and the Zambian authorities, leaving the body of a former head of state at the center of an international controversy. As investigations, or perhaps competing investigations, continue, one question still lingers. What truly happened to former President Edgar Lungu? The fact is, Zambians are entitled to having the correct information.
The Electoral Commission of Zambia, ECZ, has announced the recovery of a vehicle that went missing while transporting voter education materials from Lusaka to Livingstone. In a statement, Chief Electrical Officer Brian Casaro said the vehicle, which was hired for ongoing voter registration exercise, was found abandoned in Zimba district. It confirms that all voter education materials, including brancos and posters, were found intact and have since been delivered to Livingstone. Mr. Casaro commended the Zambia Police Service for its swift response in locating the vehicle. He further assures the public that all ECZ materials remain secure and encouraged continued vigilance during voter registration process. The government has delivered food security pack fertilizer to Chilubi Highland as part of its continued effort to strengthen food security and support smallholder farmers. The initiative aims to enhance agriculture productivity and improve the livelihood of vulnerable households. According to the government officials, local transporters have successfully completed deliveries to Lunga district in Luapula province. The exercise involved the use of water transport to reach remote communities with essential farming inputs. The government has refined its commitment to ensuring equitable access to agricultural resources across all regions. More reports in Henry Kapata.
From Santhia, right here, boats left this morning loaded with fertilizer and seed bound for Chilubi in Northern Province. Now the trip to Chilubi covers about 51 kilometers across the lake. The trip to Kasoma Lunga of about 70 kilometers is done. Boats are the only reliable link for these island communities. What is moving 250 kg bags of compound D per household, 150 kg bag of urea per household, 10 kg cereal seeds and 10 kg legume seed per household. Each pack supports roughly 3 limas, about 3/4 of a hectare.
Fertilizer per mana. So twaliva subcontract na capital fertilizer transport twalesa transport Lunga twalipisha nombapa twambo kusta transport Chilubi eyo tule twala urea ili 1300 then dina yena ili 1300 total yospa muni 2600 uteko fyo bomba ulasita create na pobene what pela ko business nishibule tsunga abantu fye bamo eba ilishanya pantu nishito bako etipya kuchita nomba ngana ko atako ifyo lesta uteko bula apa na bwena mushita imbi so na ifo apa na butu afu watu afuira ma workers watu afuira no wikashi watu afuira kona abene tule ngisha mukolonga.
Now, the Ministry of Community Development and Social Services manages the Food Security Pack Program. Delivery uses district teams.
nandako bachi inyenshi tobomba kuno amatsungira bafyashi besu kero futi twasamirira amatumo inobukashi.
Why this matters now? Now, fertilizer in these packs is produced in Zambia by plants commissioned under the government of the Republic of Zambia's policy to boost local imports. These bags were produced by United Capital Fertilizer.
As what we are seeing at United Capital Fertilizers there, which we encouraged very much once we took public office, and then obviously we work as a team in partnership together. So the resource endowment we bring, the capital, the technology from your end.
President Hakainde Hichilema has officially commissioned the United Capital Fertilizer plant in Chilanga, 1.4 billion investment aimed at strengthening Zambia's food security and agriculture sector. The plant is expected to significantly reduce fertilizer imports, hence local production, and contribute to economic growth. As part of a corporate social responsibility, the company will build a 35 million kwacha secondary school and 1,000 housing units for employees. President Hichilema announced the next cabinet meeting will be held at the plant to appreciate the scale of the investments. The Drug Enforcement Commission has seized over 1.8.1 tons of cannabis and arrested 7 suspects during a joint operation in Fuwe's Muzambwe's village, Eastern Province. The suspects were found cultivating and trafficking both fresh and dry cannabis. In separate cooperation, DEC officer intercepted counterfeit currency amounting 250,000 United States dollars. The money was suspected to be part of the international counterfeiting syndicate. The investigations are ongoing as authorities intensify efforts to dismantle drug and financial crimes across the country. We now take our first break. Coming up is international and sports news. Stay tuned.
University is driving the thrill for the nation in research and development. Enroll now for full-time and distance programs in the School of Engineering, Humanities, Business and Education. To apply, visit our website at www.icuzambia.net or call us on +260 211 221 662 or 0966 342 359. Sponsorship is available. Enroll now.
Welcome to the Zambia Research and Development Center, an institution dedicated to national development through capacity building and community development. Established in 2007 by a group of professionals and lecturers, ZRDC has since become a hub of research and innovation in the country. Registered with the Ministry of Home Affairs under the Registrar of Societies, ZRDC pursues cutting-edge research to address pressing social and economic challenges. Get involved. ZRDC engages in activities that stimulate international collaboration, promote knowledge sharing, and make research expertise available to decision makers. Our mission at ZRDC is to foster innovation and capacity building for national development. We believe in addressing poverty and underdevelopment through institutional and capacity building, human empowerment, and gender participation. In our quest to foster innovation and capacity building for national development, ZRDC launched the ZRDC University Sponsorship for Capacity Building and Development Program to facilitate knowledge advancement among ZRDC researchers and those intending to join the research community. Qualified Zambian citizens can pursue education at credible universities in Zambia with guaranteed prospects of joining the ZRDC research community. ZRDC engages in industrial and technological research, covering research development and innovative investigations to drive dynamic industrial development at national and regional levels. Join us at the Zambia Research and Development Center as we continue to innovate, empower, and shape a brighter future for Zambia. ZRDC, fostering innovation and capacity building for national development.
Thank you for staying with us now in international news. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky will meet with the US President Donald Trump in Washington on Friday, as Trump weighs whether to arm Ukraine with Tomahawk missiles capable of striking deep into Russia. The meeting comes a day after Trump said great progress was made during a phone call with Russian President Vladimir Putin, with a pair agreeing to face-to-face talk in Hungary. Trump said the call, the first with Putin since mid-August, was very productive, adding that teams from Washington and Moscow will meet next week. As Zelensky arrived in the US, his third visit since January, he said Moscow was rushing in a resume dialogue as soon as it hears about Tomahawks. We are now in sports news. The Football Association of Zambia, FAZ, has launched a second group of 47 referees assessors as part of efforts to improve quality of matches officiating in the country. FAZ President Keith Mwemba emphasizes the refereeing is central to his vision for developing Zambian football and urged assessors to uphold integrity in their role. Speaking at the FIFA Referees Assessors Workshop at Takwe Hotel in Lusaka, Mr. Mwemba highlighted that assessors play a critical role in monitoring referees and ensuring fair play. Meanwhile, COSAFA head of referees and FIFA instructor Felix Tangawarima praised FAZ for its commitment to upskilling match officials and fostering next generation to top referees. The training aims to bridge the gap between referees and assessors, strengthening Zambia's refereeing structure and enhancing standards at all levels of the game. That sports news brings us to the end of the lunchtime news. But before we go, we take a look at the top stories making the headlines. President Hichilema declares official funeral and national mourning for the late UNIP cabinet minister Rodger Sakuhuka. President Hichilema congratulates Army Commander Zyeele on U.S. Wall of Fame induction. South African group Alleges former Zambian President Lungu was murdered. In international news, Zelensky to make case of missiles at White House after Trump and Putin agree meeting. In sports news, FAZ launches second batch of referees assessors to strengthening officiating standards. Thank you for watching. For more news updates, please do watch us on our main news at 20 hours.